You were hurt in a car crash, and now your neck and back are killing you, but the insurance company's already downplaying your injuries. They tell you it's just soft tissue, that you don't need treatment, that it'll go away on its own. I'm Guy DiMartino. I've been helping injured folks in Indiana for years, and I'll tell you exactly how to protect your case when they try to minimize it, so you get the medical care that you actually need and the settlement that you deserve, not the one that the insurance company wants to hand you. Don't downplay your pain. Why speaking up early really matters. Because they think it's going to go away. They never want to be that person. They say, I don't want to sue anybody. Here's the thing. Neck and back injuries often don't show their true colors right away. It might be hours, days, or even a week before you realize your pain is more than just a tweak or a kink in your neck. Don't tough it out. If you tell the police, paramedics, or the emergency room nurse, I'm fine, that gets put in your medical record. Insurance companies will comb through those records. If there's no mention of neck or back pain, then they'll argue the pain came from something else. And it's not that serious, because if it was serious, you would have complained of it on the day of the accident or the day after the accident. If you start to feel stiff or pain, even if it seems minor, say so. The earlier you document your symptoms, the better off you are. For example, let's say you were rear-ended and you have sore neck the next morning. You might try to shake it off, thinking it'll go away. Then 3 days later, you wake up and you can barely move your neck. If you wait until then to see a doctor, the insurance company may question if the accident is the real cause or if you hurt yourself doing something else. So if you want to get the most for your neck and back injuries, speak up about all your symptoms right away. No matter how minor they seem, it's not complaining, it's protecting yourself. After an accident, your very first priority is your health. Get checked out, even if you think your injury is this strained. In Indiana, prompt treatment makes all the difference in the world, both for your body and for your case. Insurance companies love to see gaps in medical care. They'll say, if you were really hurt, wouldn't you have gone to the doctor sooner? Or why did you miss those physical therapy appointments if your back is so bad? Every appointment you keep is another brick in the wall of your case. It shows that you're taking your injury seriously, and it creates a trail of evidence. If your doctor refers you to physical therapy, go. If they want you to have some follow-up x-rays or an MRI, do them. Even if you feel that it's inconvenient, or if you're worried about the cost, remember, in Indiana, medical bills typically get paid out of your settlement. Let me give you a quick example. I once represented a woman from Indianapolis who was injured, her lower back hurt in a side impact crash. She went to the ER, but then didn't see her doctor again for another 2 weeks. Unfortunately, her insurance adjuster argued that anything could have happened in those 14 missing days. If she had gotten follow-up care right away, her case would have been much stronger, and it wouldn't have dragged on for months. So don't skip your appointments. Don't ignore referrals. And if you ever feel like a doctor isn't taking your injury seriously, don't be afraid to get a second opinion. Here's a simple truth. The details that seem obvious today will get very fuzzy over time. Insurance companies count on that. That's why you need to document everything about your neck and back injuries. You might want to start a notebook or use a phone or keep a daily journal. Write down what hurts, what you can do, what you can't do, how the pain affected your life. For example, 6/12. Woke up with a stiff neck. It's hard to turn my head to the right. I couldn't lift groceries. 6/13. Missed my son's baseball game. Had to lay flat most of the day. My pain level was an 8 out of 10. 6/15. saw Dr. Patel. She ordered physical therapy and prescribed muscle relaxers. Photos are also powerful. Take pictures of any bruising, swelling, or support devices in your neck, like neck braces or wrist braces or anything else. Save receipts for out-of-pocket expenses, pain meds, heating pads, even mileage if you're driving to appointments. All this documentation does two things. It preserves your memory and it paints a clear picture for the insurance company or a jury of how your life changed after an accident. In Indiana, that's the kind of evidence that wins cases and makes bigger settlements. Be honest, but don't overshare information. What does that mean? Truthfully explain to your doctors about your injuries, but don't exaggerate or try to game the system. Indiana insurance companies are quick to spot inconsistencies. If you say you can't lift anything, but you post a photo on social media of you helping a friend move and you're carrying a big couch, they will use that against you. The same goes for surveillance. They do hire investigators at times. Now there's another side of this. Don't volunteer extra information that could be twisted around. For example, if you've had a minor back injury years ago, but have been pain-free since that time, be honest if asked. Don't rush to mention every ache and pain since you were a teenager. Don't say, well, when I was 12, I fell off the monkey bars. When I was 14, I sprained my ankle. When I was 16, I had to get a massage because I hurt my back. Just say if you had a prior back problem, hey, I hurt my back. I sprained my back 5 years ago. I did a little physical therapy. It was fine. Life was normal. You want to stick to the facts about what happened in your recent crash and how that has affected you since. You may want to explain, well, I had a prior back problem, but this is different, and this is how it is different. A real-life example for you. I once helped a man in Fort Wayne who had a neck injury from a rear-end collision. He was worried because he had a sports injury years before. We were upfront about it, but his doctor was able to show how this new injury was different than his prior injury and was worse than his prior injury. Because he didn't try to hide it, the insurance company had little to argue about, and his settlement was higher for it. The other thing that's important is you have to know the value of your claim and don't settle too soon. Here's something most people don't realize. Insurance companies want to settle the case quickly, pay the lowest amount of money that they can pay, close the file, and move on to the file that's next. They might offer you a lump sum just days after the crash. It's tempting, especially if you're missing work and the bills are piling up. But here's the catch. If you settle before you know the full impact of your neck or back injuries, you could be leaving thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars on the table. Neck and back injuries can get worse over time. What seems like a sore neck today could turn into a herniated disc that needs surgery 6 months down the road. Once you accept the settlement from the insurance company, that's it. Game over. You can't go back and say you want a mulligan. Can't go back and say you want more money, even if your injury turns out to be worse than you thought. Here's a recent example. I represented a client from Evansville who was rear-ended. The insurance company called her right away with a $3,000 offer. She was out of work and she was tempted to take it. But after we reviewed her medical records and she got an MRI, it turned out that she needed surgery. Her case ultimately settled for 6 figures, 30 times or plus the original offer. So don't let the pressure get to you. In Indiana, you generally have 2 years from the date of the accident to file a personal injury claim. So you have time to heal. You have time to understand the true value of your injuries. Don't sign anything until you know what your injuries really mean for your life and how those injuries are going to impact your future. Let an experienced Indiana attorney handle the insurance company. This step might sound self-serving coming from a lawyer, but it's true. When you're dealing with neck and back injuries after a car accident, having an experienced Indiana attorney on your side makes a massive difference. Here's why. Insurance companies don't play fair. Believe it or not, they do not play fair. They have lawyers, they have adjusters whose job is to pay you as little as possible. We know the real value of injuries because we see what juries in Indiana award for these cases. We know what's fair based on your treatment, your work situation, and how your injuries affect your daily life. We handle the paperwork. That means no missed deadlines, no forms you have to figure out yourself, no fighting over your medical bills. You just get to focus on getting better. That should be your job after an accident. Let your lawyer handle all the other garbage, all the other strife that's out there, so you can focus on returning back to a normal life. We fight for every dollar the insurance company lowballs you. We negotiate, and if needed, we take them to court so you get what you deserve. For example, I recently helped somebody in Lafayette who injured their lower back, and it left this person unable to work construction. The insurance company first offer wouldn't even have covered this person's lost wages, let alone his medical bills or pain. By gathering all the right records, getting clear statements from his doctors, and showing how his life was changed by the accident and the injuries, we secured a settlement that truly reflected his true loss. This is the bottom line. After a car accident in Indiana, you don't have to do this alone. If you have neck and back injuries, get someone in your corner who knows how to fight for you. So here is a summary and the next step. You've just learned how to get the most for your neck and back injuries after a car accident in Indiana. Speak up about your pain, get proper medical care, document your journey, be honest, don't rush to settle, and get the help of a skilled attorney. Doing these things protects your health and protects your future. If this was helpful, you won't want to miss our next video. 3 ways companies can be forced to pay you after a truck accident. We break down the powerful steps you can take right now to make sure the big insurance doesn't walk away without paying what they owe you after an accident. Your rights and your recovery could depend on it. See you over there. Have a great day.